I was thinking about fighting games in 2021, and we're actually in a very interesting time because I think it's pretty likely that KOF is coming out in 2021. You know what I mean? Because the first time they showed off KOF, I showed off, was the announcement panel where they had the image of the game, and that was in EVO 2019. It's been a full year and a half since then, and we're getting our first tease now. So I think it's pretty likely the game is going to be scheduled to release sometime in 2021, probably near the fall or something like that. And even if it's not, it probably will have some kind of release date early into the next year. The second thing is, we obviously know Strive is coming out in April, right? So we have that game coming out in April. And I'm very curious about what the release date or what news is going to be about Dungeon Fighter. We have that to look forward to. And then I was thinking about general FGC life. Obviously, we've had like a full year of quarantine now. You guys haven't had locals or tournaments to go to. I haven't had locals or tournaments to go to. And in fact, it's my job. So, I'm watching all these home streams just like bored out of my mind. Like, man, I really wish there was tournaments. And the reality of the situation is that's going to continue for a long time. In 2021, there won't be FGC locals for some time. Maybe later into the year, like fall or winter or something, right? Maybe people will start to have events frequently again. But from what I expect, what we're going to see is a refinement year. And what I mean by that is that this year, a lot of people switched to online events. A lot of players and streamers started making more content. And I really expect that next year, we're going to see more of that, right? I think next year, a lot of the tournaments that kind of skipped this year, events that were like, hey, we're canceling due to COVID in 2020. We'll be back next year, whatever, or the year after, whatever they said. A lot of them are going to be like, hey, we're going to be running something online this year. We're going to have this online version of our normal event, or we're going to do something like that. And I think that's going to be a lot more common. And especially on the official side of things, they have to run an online tour again for the year, right? They cannot run an offline tour. That's something that's going to have to happen. So it's going to be like another year of really focusing and refining that kind of stuff. I mean, EVO, we'll see if they decide to do anything or not. I think they could take another year to figure out what they're going to do, or they could decide to do something online, depending on what the management wants to do or anything. Like, who even knows what's going on with EVO, right? But I mean, events like SCR or Combo Breaker or CEO and like all those kinds of like events that normally happen, right? I expect that they'll want to do something online. The other thing I was thinking about is I think we're going to see a lot of people trying more stuff and trying new things. I know I will be as well. I'm going to be running some more online tournaments next year as well. I think Guilty Gear is going to be the next one that I run for Plus R, and I might do something for Strive when that comes out as well, but we'll see how consistently I want to run them. You bring up E3 being virtual. I think all the trade shows and all that stuff will be like that. The other thing that I was really considering and thinking about is developers. When you think about fighting games and how news is delivered and how information is passed to us, generally what happens is the large events like EVOs or World Tour Finals or locations for fighting game tournaments are where they have announcements. Developers have now started to do different things, especially in the fighting game space, but in general. And that's stuff like the conference that they did, the big developer roundtable that they had. They're starting to do their own videos and Guilty Gear Direct is like funny. I was trying to think of another word for it, but basically their own announcements similar to that, right? Where they're like sitting down and it's like, hey, we're talking to you guys. This is what's happening. This is what's coming out. Doing more personal announcements from their company rather than packaging these announcements into large events like EVO or World Tour Finals or whatever it is. And I think there is actually a lot of value in them doing that and also having stuff like the roundtable again. Like when you give a trailer to EVO, you go on stage, you have a few minutes to speak, and then the trailer plays, and then that's it, right? But like when you do your own thing, there's going to be less people watching than something like that, but like you can sit down and talk about whatever you want to talk about for as long as you want to talk about. Interact in whatever way they want with the viewer, and then have the stuff happen. That's another thing I was going to say happen about next year. I think more people will try bubble events. And what I mean by that is like, Capcom Cup is happening, and it's like invitational only with all the players who've qualified, right? And it's only the players and only the commentators and staff. And then they'll probably do another SFL. And then I'm sure like the MK event that just happened, the We Play one, they'll probably try something like that. In places where COVID is less of an issue, they'll probably try more stuff. Or if the vaccine is like progressing there and more people have it, they'll probably try smaller style bubble events. We'll see more of it. But other genres will certainly do better, right? Like mostly because they have a better online infrastructure and better online events and like circuits and stuff that will do better than ours, right? It's just the nature of it. Even our games with good online don't have the necessary like focus on that to make it really good. It's not that fighting games will be suffering, it's that other genres will just do better.
Listen.
Somebody retweeted that Sanchez tweet onto my timeline. Maybe it was Obama. It's like the Tyler the Creator tweet, and it was like the ha ha ha, how the fuck are grappler players real? Ha ha, just hold up. Like, I saw that tweet and I was like, I hate Sanchez. He almost never misses. That's what makes me mad. I love Sanchez. I just can't follow him because he posts too much anime titty. But man, when he hits, like, it's the too many Gokus thing that he did. Like, he's a legend, honestly.